one win apiece. But this is the first time they've played in Boston since Game 7 of the conference semifinals, when Jason Tatum went off, put up a Game 7 record, 51 points. He has a new running mate this season in Drew Holiday, who has fit in extremely well in Celtic green. Philly has some injuries and illnesses impacting the roster. We'll get to that in a minute. We welcome you to NBA Courtside. The Boston Celtics, one of two teams undefeated at home, and they are beating teams by 19 points per game here at TD Garden. And hi, everybody, Dave Pash with Bob Myers and Cassidy Hubbard. Bob, overall, Boston's been great. Tied for the best record in the league at 14-4. Even in their losses, they've been outstanding. They've had a lead of at least 8 points in all 4 defeats. Particularly good at home, and Jason Tatum, of course, a big reason why.
Yeah, I mean, 19-point victories at home, that's just not a normal thing. 8-0 is fantastic. They're playing like the best team in the NBA right now. Certainly they're doing it at home. Tatum right there, he's leading the way. Had to make some adjustments. 49% from the field, that's a career high. That tells you he's being even more efficient, even with the points per game maybe coming down. He loves his new teammates, and they're playing tremendous here in TD Garden.
Other than Porzingis, Boston is at full strength. You cannot say the same about Philadelphia, though. With more on that, here's Cassidy.
Well, Dave, it's cold and flu season, so it's that time of year, and it's that type of night for the Philadelphia 76ers, as an illness seems to be running through this team. Joel Embiid is missing his 2nd straight game. Nick Nurse told us that he still has a fever and stayed back with the team at their team hotel. Tyrese Maxey was a late scratch after he participated in shoot-around, but didn't feel well enough to give it a go after a pregame warm-up. Jaden Springer was also dealing with an illness the last 2 games, but he is good to go tonight. And lastly, Nicholas Batum is also a late scratch, but he's out with right finger soreness. Dave, Bob?
Well, Philly's 12-6 is the first time they've played this year without both Maxey and Embiid. How hard is it to win a game like this when you don't have your 2 best players?
What do you think? It's obviously a challenge. I mean, look, let's call it what it is. But what can happen, Dave, is the Celtics can let their guard down. I've seen it before many times. They know who's not playing. They know who Embiid's out, Maxey's out, Batum. And maybe they rest back a little bit, and that gives Philly a chance to get some momentum. Not a lot of guys playing for Philly tonight, but the ones that do are going to get big minutes. They're going to get in a rhythm, so you never know how these things can go.
Tobias Harris is an 18-point-per-game guy for Philadelphia. Meanwhile, Boston not short on offensive weapons. Jaylen Brown's numbers down, but coming off a 30-point game Tuesday against Chicago. Back to the studio after the break. Celtics and Sixers coming up.
NBA Courtside.
Welcome inside our Los Angeles studio. She is the one and only Chiney Ogwumike. He is Kendrick Perkins. I'm Malika Andrews. And expectations, they're always extremely high in Boston. No one knows that better than you, Kendrick Perkins, but the acquisition of Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, they brought in sort of a new look to the Celtics and their aspirations. But then that record-setting contract extension that Jaylen Brown signed this offseason, worth to up to $304 million, has people looking once again at his productivity. What more can he do for the Celtics this season?
Well, I think, continue to grow in the area of making others around him better with less turnovers, right? That's what Jaylen Brown could continue to grow. Look, I'm not worried about his points per game.
21.9, his fewest since 2019-20.
Yeah, but it's going to increase because you got to understand, they added a little bit more, so guys are going to sacrifice, right? Jason Tatum averages down right now from last season. So you see a team that's buying in. JB is going to be fine and get back to being that elite wing defender that he once was a couple of years ago.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think that I'm not mad at his numbers going down. I mean, a lot of people will say, oh, he got paid and he relaxed. That's not true. They actually bolstered their starting 5. And I really do like what this team looks like. And I think there was this tussle. You know what it's like, Perk, when you get into the league and you're with another young star. When I was drafted to the Connecticut Sun, we had about,
well, I was never a star.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I was drafted number 1. And we had about 3 or 4 rookies on our squad. Yeah. And it's a fight to figure out who's going to be the person that is going to lead the squad. And I think we saw that happen in real time, and it's really turned out to be Jason Tatum. But then when we see what Jaylen Brown provides, it's good that they have, and I don't even want to call it Batman and Robin, but they've sort of figured it out. But they've also added pieces. I mean, Porzingis has had a great start statistically, 18 points per game. Drew Holiday, you know his numbers are going to go up.
Yeah.
Derek White has done what has needed to be done as well. And so that comes with numbers coming down, but that actually is the result that they want. So I don't feel like the pressure should be on him. It's more so, like you said, doing the intangibles that get people to win.
Oh, no, ma'am. The pressure is on him. When you get paid.
No, it's on them, not just him, though.
Yeah, but it's more pressure on him. When you get paid a bag like that.
We just talked about how you don't have trust for them because you want to see them all win.
No. But what I'm saying is when you get paid that type of bag, you got the pressure when it matters the most. Shout out to Jaylen Brown, though, doing things the right way. When you vote for somebody and he gets paid $300, send him a thank you card like JB did.
That is advice, free advice from Kendrick Perkins. That's going to do it for us. Thank you for watching Courtside. Tip-off between the Sixers and Celtics. That's coming up next.
On ESPN, as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
From Boston, we welcome you to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. The team with the best record in the East, the Celtics, at 14-4 and a perfect 8-0 at home. Welcome arch rival Philadelphia, a record of 12-6. 5-3 though on the road. Our starting lineup brought to you by Icy Hot. Joel Embiid missing his second straight game and third game of the season. Tyrese Maxey out with an illness as well. First game he's missed all year. So it will be Beverly, Morris, and Reed in the starting five with Melton and Tobias Harris. Philadelphia still without Kelly Oubre. We'll have more on that from Cassidy a little bit later. And for the Celtics, Al Horford will start. He's been primarily coming off the bench this year, but he's in the starting five tonight with Holiday, White, Brown, and Tatum.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And, you have enough beers that tastes like champagne after a while. And especially when you're lucky enough to win, you don't care. You don't really care what you're drinking.
Well, looking at that picture, I'm guessing you had enough beers where it would taste like.
Dave, I did fine. I did fine that night.
Congratulations, by the way. Who will win the inaugural in-season tournament? Make your picks with NBA Pick'em in-season tournament bracket challenge powered by Microsoft for your chance to win courtside seats and more. They go 8 of 11 from 3 and put up 44 points.
This is not an easy shot. This is a great contest by Covington and Hauser. I mean, that's impressive.
Brought to you by ADP, here with Nick Nurse and Coach.
One way or the other, it's coming your way.
Timeout on the floor, 9 of 14 for Boston from 3. Jason Tatum had that great Game 7, that 51-point game. He met 10-year-old Xavier Gonsalves on April 7th. They developed a friendship. Xavier was battling cancer in his eye, underwent 3 surgeries, 24 rounds of chemo. He took him into the locker room, Game 7. After that,
Paul Reed here, right here, you watch this, waiting for the action. Tobias Harris gets kind of caught. Could have taken a bad fadeaway jumper here. Reed sees it. His man cuts. Easy finish. It's obvious. Well, you know what? This is what you watch, right? You just don't know. I mean, here's Melton taking the
three here. He's been hot. Every player's hot. Beverly, he's knocking down every three. And Morris into the half. Great way to go into halftime. Made three from the corner.
Welcome back to NBA Friday, presented by State Farm. The Boston Celtics tied for the best record in the NBA, but they give up 72 points in the first half to Philadelphia, and they trail by 3. Dave Pash back with Bob Myers, Cassidy Hubbard as well. The 72 points allowed the most by Boston in the first half of the season, and it comes against a Philly team that doesn't have Joel Embiid or Tyrese Maxey. Let's look at the guys who are going through the air, brought to you by United Airlines.
The guys that are here are playing well. I mean, in light of the absences of their two best players, you would say Beverly stepped up 7 of 8 from the field. They've got guys all over. Covington supporting off the bench, 2 of 4 from 3. And Melton's been tremendous. Melton's doing a great job. Got 16 points, doing it everywhere. And Paul Reed hasn't missed yet, 4 of 4. So keeping him in the game. 72 points on a very good defensive Boston Celtics team in the first half.
All right, number 2, Boston in NBA defensive efficiency. As we look at our first half stats, brought to you by Chewy. Patrick Beverly, 16 points. Melton, 16. Covington and Reed. You touched on Reed being perfect. Beverly, just 1 miss. 59% shooting for Philly. 56% for Boston. 12 threes for Boston. 9 for Philly. Check with Cassidy, who spoke with Celtic head coach Joe Mazzulla.
Yeah.
Especially for a team that's knocking on that door, to have a guy like Holiday in the room is tremendously valuable.
7-0 run by the Celtics, forcing the Philadelphia timeout.
NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Disney Cruise Line, where magic meets the sea.
It's V Week on ESPN as we partner with the V Foundation to raise awareness and support for cancer research. If you are able, please visit v.org. Dave Pash, Bob Myers, Cassidy Hubbard here in Boston, where the Celtics have a 3-point lead over Philadelphia, 80-7.
I'm Malika Andrews. It's time for No Nonsense, brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. The Pelicans hosting the Spurs in this one early in the second quarter. CJ McCollum gets out in transition, throws it to Zion Williamson, who throws it down. Zion with a huge slam there. The Pelicans hold a slight lead. Let's get you back to Boston for the fourth quarter.
Great shot by Holiday. It's the shot you want, but the crowd is here. The crowd has arrived. Late arriving crowd.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Thursday, it's the NBA in-season semifinals in Las Vegas. The NBA Countdown crew will get you set for the matchup starting at 4 Eastern, tip-off at 5. See all the action on ESPN and the app. Championship weekend in college football tomorrow on ABC. Got the Big 12 title game, Oklahoma State, Texas, American Championship, then Louisville, Florida State. At night in the ACC title game. Sunday at noon, the exclusive reveal of the final college football playoff rankings. We will know the top 4.
Our way has never been just one way. We're the firsts until we're the legacies, the dreamers until the dream gets done. We're not stopping anytime soon, and we're bringing the world with us. That's our way.
It's a doubleheader hockey night on ESPN. First, Stars at Capitals, then Devils at Kraken. 2 games, 1 night. Stars, Capitals, Devils, Kraken. Thursday on ESPN.
Our money moment brought to you by Chime. Derek White has been terrific again for the Celtics tonight.
Yeah, Dave, plus 17, best plus minus of anybody in the game. You can feel it when he's out there. They've had a moment where they've had to be steadied. He's made the play.
Someone like Pritchard to step up, and he certainly did that. 4 seconds remaining, Boston by 6. 4 on the season. Philadelphia falls to 12-7. They do get 5 days off though before they play again, and they hope that not only Embiid and Maxey, but that Kelly Oubre will be back in the lineup as well. Denver and Phoenix coming up next for Bob Myers, Cassidy Hubbard. I'm Dave Pash saying so long from Boston, where the Celtics get the 6-point win.